The president said the U.S., quote, rejects efforts to denigrate the religious beliefs of others. What is he saying when he says something like that?
Well, this is adherence to the blasphemy laws under the Sharia. Under the Sharia, you cannot criticize or offend Islam. By condemning the movie, he's condemning freedom of expression. He's condemning freedom of speech. And he's also condemning these he's also sanctioning these murderous rages that these Muslim mobs have been going on. This is very dangerous because this is our First Amendment right. And our First Amendment right protects all speech, not just ideas that we like, but ideas that we don't like, because who would decide? The government? These Muslim mobs? We should be condemning the brutal blasphemy laws under the Sharia. Just last week in Pakistan, that young girl, the 12-year-old girl with Down syndrome, who was beaten because allegedly she burned some pages of Islamic text, this should be condemned. Or the doctor who threw away the business card with the name Muhammad on it and he was jailed. This should be condemned. These are blasphemy laws and we should condemn them. We should not be sanctioning them. And we do know that many of his appointees like Sotomayor and Kagan believe in the restriction of free speech. This is a clash of values. This is a clash of cultures, and we must vigorously defend freedom of expression. The idea that this is not against the American government, this is not against American policy, this is against a YouTube user. No, yes. This is against American policy.
Let me ask you about one thing you just said. You said the president is sanctioning this rage. This murderous rage. Is that what you said?
That's exactly what I said.
So do you really believe in your heart that the President of the United States is sanctioning, meaning approving, meaning excusing, meaning allowing the murder of an American diplomat? You're not really saying that, are you?
I'm saying he's sanctioning the motive. What's the difference?
You're saying it's the same thing?
Sanctioning the motive, yes, absolutely.
And what would be his motive for doing so?
I think that he is Islamophilic. I think that he's sympathetic to the Sharia, but it is the opposite of freedom. It is anti-freedom. Those are not anti-film protests.
But you're saying that the President of the United States is putting his Islamophilia above his obligations and duty as the President. Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that it is his duty to protect our First Amendment. We cannot have an establishment clause.
But protecting the First Amendment, Ms. Geller, is different than sanctioning the murder of an American ambassador. I want to get some clarity on that because I think people are going to be listening to you say that, and you've got a lot of credibility on a lot of issues. But if you say the President of the United States is sanctioning the murder of an American ambassador, then people want to know what evidence you have of that.
Okay, the murder of an American ambassador was an al-Qaeda attack. We're talking about the mobs, the Muslim mobs that are now rioting throughout the Muslim world. That was an attack. That was a 9/11 attack.
Yes, it was.
That was al-Qaeda. So that you're talking about something different. I am saying that he is sanctioning the motive behind these riots, and that is not his place to encroach upon our freedoms. The bottom line is you cannot ask me to sacrifice my freedom so as not to offend savages, and that is not his job. His job is to protect and defend the American Constitution and the First Amendment.
All right.
And frankly, that's what these riots are about. They are not anti-film riots. They are anti-freedom riots.
Well, Pamela Geller.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pam.
Appreciate it.